Cloud native applications interview questions and answers. Beginner means advanced. Introduction. Cloud native applications are applications designed specifically to run in cloud environments using scalable, resilient, and distributed architectures. Cloud native applications commonly use, microservices, containers, Kubernetes, DevOps, CI/CD, cloud platforms. Cloud native development is widely used with Q, Amazon Web Services, Q, Microsoft Azure, Q, Google Cloud, Kubernetes, Q, Docker. 1 to 20. Cloud native basics. What is a cloud native application? Application designed specifically for cloud environments. Why use cloud native architecture? Scalability, resilience, faster deployments, flexibility. What are key cloud native principles? Scalability, microservices, containers, automation, scalability, observability. What is monolithic architecture? Single large application containing all functionality. What is microservices architecture? Application divided into smaller, independent services. Monolith versus microservices. Monolith is single unit. Microservices are distributed services. What is scalability? Ability to handle increased workload. Horizontal versus vertical scaling? Horizontal adds servers. Vertical increases server power. What is elasticity? Automatic resource adjustment based on demand. What is high availability? Application remains operational with minimal downtime. System continues working despite failures. What is distributed system? Multiple connected systems working together. What is stateless application? Application not storing session state locally. Why are stateless services important? Check. Easier scaling, load balancing, resilience. What is cloud computing? Delivering computing resources over internet. Cloud service models? Check. IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. Infrastructure as a service. What is PaaS? Platform as a service. What is SaaS? Software as a service. What is multi-cloud? Using multiple cloud providers. 21 to 40. Containers and Kubernetes. Packaging application with dependencies. What is Docker? Container platform for building and running containers. Docker file example. From OpenJDK 21. Copy app.jar, app.jar. Entry point, java.jar. What is Docker image? Read-only container template. What is Docker container? What is Kubernetes? Container orchestration platform. Why use Kubernetes? Scaling, self-healing, orchestration, rolling deployments. What is pod in Kubernetes? Smallest deployable unit in Kubernetes. What is deployment in Kubernetes? Manages pod replicas and updates. What is service in Kubernetes? Exposes application networking. What is ingress? HTTP, HTTPS routing into cluster. Externalized configuration storage. What is secret in Kubernetes? Secure sensitive data storage. What is namespace? Logical separation within cluster. What is Helm? Kubernetes package manager. What is autoscaling? Automatic scaling based on metrics. What is horizontal pod autoscaler? Automatically scales pod replicas. What is rolling deployment? Gradual application update strategy. What is blue-green deployment? Switching traffic between old and new versions. What is canary deployment? Releasing updates to small user subset first. 41 to 70. Microservices, APIs, and DevOps. What is API gateway? Entry point for client requests. Why use API gateway? Routing, authentication, rate limiting, monitoring. What is service discovery? Dynamically locating services. What is load balancing? Distributing traffic across servers. What is circuit breaker pattern? Prevents cascading failures. What is retry mechanism? Reattempting failed operations. What is message broker? Middleware for asynchronous communication. Common message brokers? Kafka, RabbitMQ, ActiveMQ. What is event-driven architecture? Systems communicate using events. What is asynchronous communication? Non-blocking interaction between services. REST versus gRPC? REST uses HTTP, JSON. gRPC uses protocol buffers. What is CI/CD? Continuous integration and continuous deployment. Benefits of CI/CD? CI/CD automation, reduced errors. What is Jenkins? CI/CD automation server. What is GitHub Actions? CI/CD platform integrated with GitHub. What is infrastructure as code? Managing infrastructure using code. Common IAC tools? Check. Terraform, CloudFormation, Ansible. What is Terraform? Infrastructure provisioning tool. What is immutable infrastructure? Infrastructure replaced instead of modified. What is observability? Understanding system behavior using metrics, logs, traces. What is monitoring? Tracking application system health. Common monitoring tools? Prometheus, Grafana, Datadog. What is centralized logging? Aggregating logs into one system. Common logging tools? ELK Stack, Splunk, Loki. What is distributed tracing? Tracking requests across services. Common tracing tools. Check. Jaeger, check. Zipkin. What is health check endpoint? /health. What is readiness probe? Indicates app ready to receive traffic. What is liveness probe? Indicates app is alive and healthy. What is sidecar pattern? Helper container running alongside main app. 71 to 100. Advanced cloud native concepts. What is serverless computing? Running code without managing servers. Common serverless platforms? Coke, AWS Lambda, Azure Functions, Google Cloud Functions. What is cold start in serverless? Startup delay after inactivity. What is cloud native security? Security practices for distributed cloud systems. What is zero trust architecture? Never trust, always verify approach. What is OAuth 2? Authorization framework. What is JWT? JSON Web Token for authentication. What is service mesh? Infrastructure layer managing service communication. Common service mesh tools? Check. Istio? Linkerd. What is Envoy proxy? High-performance proxy used in service mesh. What is resilience engineering? Designing systems to handle failures gracefully. What is chaos engineering? Testing system resilience through failures. What is cloud bursting? Extending workloads to public cloud temporarily. What is vendor lock-in? Dependency on single cloud provider. What is edge computing? Processing data closer to users' devices. What is CDN? Content delivery network. Temporary storage for faster access. Common cloud-native interview topics? Microservices, Kubernetes, Docker, CI/CD, observability. Common cloud-native challenges? Distributed debugging, network latency, service failures, deployment complexity. Best practices for cloud-native apps? Stateless design, stateless automation, observability, fault tolerance. What is 12-factor app methodology? Best practices for cloud-native applications. What is immutable deployment? Deploying entirely new application versions. What is rolling back deployment? Reverting to previous application version. What is cloud cost optimization? Reducing infrastructure expenses. What is resource throttling? Limiting resource consumption. What is multi-tenancy? Multiple customers sharing infrastructure. How to become strong in cloud-native development. Claire, Kubernetes. Build microservices. Practice CI/CD. Understand observability. Biggest cloud-native interview concept. Distributed scalable application architecture. Containers. Kubernetes. Microservices. Automation and resilience. Why are cloud-native applications important? They enable scalable, resilient, and rapidly deployable systems. Cloud-native interviews focus on CI/CD, Docker and containers, Kubernetes, CI/CD pipelines, observability and monitoring, cloud scalability, resilience and fault tolerance, distributed systems. Key idea: strong cloud-native engineers understand scalable, distributed architectures, automation, resilience, and container orchestration.